Thursdays at this time, we focus on Shelton, brought to you by our Community Credit Union at 8:38. Morning, Vicki.
Good morning.
And Mark Ziegler is in studio with us this
Morning,
morning.
Mark.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good. Terrific.
This is going to be a fun conversation as we've got some updates for the community as well as some new art ventures that are available.
Yeah.
First things first, as we come up and down the hill by Overlook Park, we saw that the city and the Mason County Master Builders worked together to kind of clean up the Overlook Park log monument a couple months ago, and then we heard some terrible news that it had been defaced, but
almost as soon as it got
it was
prettied
almost as
up.
soon as
Not too long after, after it finished.
pretty
Yeah.
recent.
That was disappointing.
But
Yeah.
we're back in working order, right?
We're back in working order, yeah.
Right.
And really the spirit of that project was the community partnerships and the giving individuals, organizations, and businesses that we have in this community. And that's really, really how this project came about, and the monument that it is, figuratively and literally, the log monument being something that everybody sees, and it represents Shelton, but also the monument of
And even the stories
spirit.
behind that log, how many homes it built or something like that.
yeah.
could have built exactly right.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it is amazing.
Yeah, we started that back in July with the Mason County Master Builders contributing to the refurbishment of the logs and preservation of the logs themselves. So they were sanded, cleaned off, the road grime and all that stuff that builds up over the years. And then up to 9 coats of varnish, including in all the cracks. So a syringe was injecting the varnish into all the cracks. And if you remember, that was back when it was in the 90 degree, almost 100 degree range. And Heather Heslop, our volunteer, if you will, did that work in a Tyvek suit and was just sweating like crazy up there.
That's horrible.
So that was completed back in July, and then we really started looking at the foundation and the need to do something differently with that because it was seeing some degradation. It's on a steel, so it's got a concrete foundation with a steel, what I call a cradle that comes up out of that, and it really needed somebody that can work with steel, and then potentially reinforcing that log because it just kind of sits there through gravity. And so, you know what, we might want to just think of something differently over the years of it sitting there and it's probably settling and moving a little bit, maybe some way to secure it to that big concrete foundation. I called Lisa Perry at SPI. She said, yeah, let's take a look at it, see what we can do. They jumped all over it. So as of about a week ago, their crews finished installing a couple brackets on the back.
Okay.
So they not only fixed the existing cradle it sat on. So it was a steel cradle that was rusting and cracking and moving a little bit. They sandwiched it with new steel, welded it in, put these new brackets on the back, had those structurally engineered, built them on site down at SPI, went up and installed them. So lagged those into the back of the log and lagged them into the concrete. Wow. And so it's going to hold it. It's not going to move.
Not going
we're going to make sure this thing's here for years to come, and it's going to be a monument for for the future generations that come through Shelton and want to experience that. So it is. It's just great.
And
great project.
How does it look now after there was that defacing to it? Could you even not really tell?
The layperson wouldn't be able to tell. I know where it was. I can see one of the logs we had to sand down a little more, and so it's a little lighter in that area. But yeah, somebody scratched their names in it, and those are things that happen in the general public. But luckily enough, we learned a lot through that process, and our city staff learned a lot about the restoration that was put forth with Heather's work, and so we were able to fix that ourselves.
I'm just going to spitball this right now. You can take this or leave it, whatever. But there's power up there, right? There's lights and everything.
Yeah.
What if could you put in a camera looking down on that, and then also a webcam that looks out on the beautiful sunrise?
Oh, what a great idea.
Interestingly enough, one of the community partners we have is Builders First Choice down there, and they donated materials and supplies to the project, and they have come up with some game cameras. So some cameras are not necessarily webcams, but they've had the opportunity to purchase a couple of those, and those are going up there.
Oh, so, nice.
But I like your idea as well, Jeff.
That is a good idea.
So maybe that's the next phase to work on and having a live webcam up
Yeah,
there.
because
and
you know, we stop every so often on a beautiful sunrise and try to take a photo and post
Yeah.
it on our page. But
Yeah.
I think people would just love that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I think it'd be a security as well as just a public interest piece. Yeah.
All right, the other thing, and we see these if you're driving around Olympia at all, the junction boxes on the
Yes.
corners, on the corner intersections there to control the lights and everything
That's
like
right.
that.
Exactly
They're
right.
an
Pretty 'em
eyesore.
up.
Oh, what a mess.
Oh, right.
Let's pretty them up a little bit. That's how the city of Shelton's doing.
And this is another community partnership. The Martha Reed Foundation, the representatives from that group came forward and said, "Hey, we want to do something to, make our mark in the community a little beautification, if you will." And this is something the Arts Commission had discussed over the years, but really never came to fruition. So they really gave us the kickstart to get going. So the Arts Commission, the City of Shelton, recently put this call for artists out. So it's really easy. It's digital photograph. It can be original art. It can be a photo, of a sunset, if you will, from Overlook Park,
There
maybe.
you go.
What picture would
That's
I
right.
put?
Wouldn't that be so cool? I didn't know you could do pictures. I thought
Yeah.
it was just paintings.
No,
that people
absolutely.
did.
This is submitted digitally, and then that digital image is printed on vinyl, and then the vinyl wrap is stuck. It's a big sticker to these traffic boxes.
They really are nice. If you drive through Olympia, it catches your eye.
Yeah, there's one near that skate park
Yeah.
in
On
Olympia.
one
There's
side,
a bunch over in West
yeah,
Olympia.
they've done
Yeah.
some downtown as well as on the west side, and there's other communities that
Just makes
obviously
it
do
look
this.
nicer,
So,
I think.
I think
Yeah,
it's
exactly
cool.
right. So the deadline for that's next Friday, the
Okay.
12th. You can email those to Jordan at the city, and
Okay.
you can find that information on the city's website and the city's Facebook page. We'll do a community contest, so that'll be the great part too, is the whole community gets to weigh in, pick their favorites, and then the Arts Commission will jury that, and then the City Council will make the final decision, and we hope to have these up by the end of the year.
How many?
Well, we're aiming for three
Okay.
locations
Yeah, yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
It's possible we've had some interest from some other folks about funding some more of these, so it's possible we could add a couple more.
Well, there should
as
be
well.
like a timber.
How many
one
are
with
there?
Trees or whatever.
There's 5 locations that,
Okay.
that the city owns. A couple of the lights are on state right away out here on State Route 3. So at Railroad and State Route 3, and then State Route 3 and Coda.
Sure.
Those are, and then I guess up on the hill as well.
But 5 otherwise in the city.
Yeah,
That'll
exactly
look
right.
nice.
So we'll focus down on
That'd be fun.
7th and Alder and K and Olympic Highway North, and then there's one at 13th and Northcliff, and there's another one there on Wallace Nealand as well.
Some great
Okay.
opportunities there to show some beautiful artwork, some historical
And I'm
images.
sure there's some great artists.
I
out
can't
here
wait
in
to see
Shelton.
what people are
I know.
coming
me
up
Yeah,
too.
with.
I
and
wanna
there's
vote
no
on them.
theme, and there's no theme.
That's
You know,
great.
so you can,
Do
it can
whatever
be,
you
it can be
want.
something modern. It can be a landscape.
Yeah.
It could be traditional.
John Bon Jovi's face.
It could be a.
Come on, the ladies
I'll take
would
that.
love
I mean,
that.
at least you didn't say, but
That-
the 49ers logo.
That go on the back side of the box, maybe. Yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
face that to the alley.
I'll just be standing there every day.
Just say, hey, Bob. Hey, John.
There's my boyfriend.
That's cool. All right, so next Friday's the deadline.
Next Friday's the
Get in touch
deadline.
with Jordan at the city for this, and we'll put the
Very
links in the
cool.
show notes.
I
Cool.
appreciate it. Yeah, it's great to have these partnerships in the community, and
Yeah.
we're really excited about working with
Awesome.
anybody that's interested in.
Yeah,
helping
it's
us
gonna be
out.
interesting to see all the artwork that comes in there.
Yeah.
I can't wait
What's
to see
the
that.
size of these things? And I guess that doesn't really
No,
matter when it comes to the piece of art. You can
Correct.
just blow it up. or
They
something.
size it, to the size of the box. So
That's
I
cool.
always wondered how they did.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did they do that? You know.
They obviously didn't paint it on the box
No.
itself.
No.
It's just a vinyl sticker.
and it's much easier. You can wipe the graffiti off it when it's the sticker. You know.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can-
yeah.
If somebody does scratch it with something fine, you really can't see it. So it stands up much better than painting it or other means of producing that
Cool.
art.
Right,
So that's
very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good news story here today. Mark
Yeah.
Ziegler from the City of Shelton helping us focus on Shelton today, brought to you by our Community Credit Union. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Mark.